EA's Battlefield series has had its ups and downs over the past couple decades. Its multiplayer suites have continually impressed, but it struggled to supply a truly compelling campaign. Battlefield 4 had its challenges as the first game in the franchise to straddle two console generations. It still did moderately well with critics when it released around 8 years ago, but times have changed drastically. As the series prepares for yet another fence-sitting launch, it's instructive to go back to see what worked and what didn't. Do old shooters really work at all on game services in 2021? Let's find out if Battlefield 4 is a game pass or a game fail. Battlefield 4 represents the debut of the notorious Frostbite 3 engine. It's been a thorn in the side of some developers ever since, but the benefits of designing a game around a specific engine still show. The core gameplay of Battlefield 4 still holds up all these years later. We aren't weapons experts, but the guns feel good to our untrained hands. The destructible terrain is something a lot of shooters still aren't doing, and it makes each battle feel dynamic as you move between cover. Somehow, the graphics still hold up as well. DICE is no slouch when it comes to glorifying destruction. The problems start when the engine has to do anything other than make things look pretty. The campaign provides few surprises, but there aren't many moments when something isn't exploding. The plot centers around China throwing the world into chaos, and it's just as cliché as all the scripted events that carry it. You take control at various points, but it's hard to shake the feeling that the game mostly plays itself. Then there's the utterly useless squad you're teamed up with. There's a button dedicated to instructing them, but they rarely secure any kills. The one saving grace is that most of the campaign is relatively easy, and we'd prefer to do all the dirty work ourselves anyway. The rebounding health meter ensures that you're rarely in real danger, and you can take your time completing each mission. That's a good thing because it's not always clear exactly what you should be doing or how to do it. It will say, destroy a tank using explosives, but it takes some tinkering to figure out what it's really asking you to do. God forbid if you stray off course and stop constantly trudging forward. Shockingly, the full online multiplayer suite still works. Servers are still live almost a decade later. All that time has allowed it to amass a huge amount of content that can be fun to fiddle with. The Game Pass version includes all its DLC and provides extra XP and loot boxes. We are also surprised at how many people are still playing, but it comes with caveats. The quick play option is a crapshoot. It will regularly drop you into a match with barely any other players or not find a match at all. The good news is there's a server browser with sorting options to help out. The bad news is that each server is private, so you might get kicked for no obvious reason. When you do get into a match, prepare to get destroyed by those who have been playing it since launch and have yet to move on. Now that EA Play is included in Game Pass, some of the industry's biggest shooters are included in the service. If you want a great single-player campaign, Titanfall 2 has one of the best we've ever played. The legendary Battlefield Bad Company 2 is also among the ranks. The Crysis trilogy is another great choice with its pseudo-superhero abilities, and they are still a great stress test for your PC, even though they're also long in the tooth. If you are looking for other multiplayer options, virtually all the Battlefield games are included, not the least of which is the most recent, Battlefield 5. Just watch out for the snipers. If you want a taste of both worlds, Halo the Master Chief Collection has 6 campaigns that range from good to great, and all of the respective multiplayer modes in one tidy package. There's new content still being released for these classics. If you want to play a first-person shooter, no matter what your taste, Game Pass has you covered. Now it's time to find out, is Battlefield 4 a game pass or a game fail?
Amazing, dude!
Battlefield 4 is a game lost in time. The parts of it that worked back in 2013 still work, but it can be tough struggling through its issues to get to the good parts. The campaign wasn't great when it launched, and the set-piece-driven experience hasn't aged especially well. The multiplayer options are passable, but it's filled to the brim with expert players who make it difficult to enjoy playing. First-person shooters are one of Game Pass's biggest strengths, and Battlefield 4 is simply outranked by so many other games to make it worth your time. Battlefield 4 gets a game fail. Next week, we're heading back to the main Game Pass library, and the randomizer selects Superland.